My name is Moon Petrie and today is Halloween. So here's an update on the writing I've done during October. For one thing, it was a fabulous month with lots of other distractions, including The Glass Witch by Lindsay Puckett, which was totally amazing. And if you haven't read it, not only do I strongly recommend that you read it, I recommend that you either have some baked goods on hand or have time to take a break in the middle of reading so that you can bake something. It will make you want to eat delicious autumn baked goods. I have, of course, been doing other autumn things like trying to get my children to make adorable decorations that then turn out kind of horrifying. A lot of pumpkin carving has been going on and subsequent washing of seeds and pulp out of my toddler's hair, which was gross. And costumes, of course. Two of my kids have pretty much totally store-bought costumes this year, but I had some fun attaching adorable felt frog eyes to a green jacket for my 6-year-old and making some flappy frog hands. And of course, I have actually been writing. When we last left off, I think I had passed 6K in my manuscript, and I was about to head into another week's blog writing. So on the 17th, 1093, on the 18th, biggest writing day of the month, and it was for the blogs, 2580, and on the 19th, 1629. So that was all not for my book. On the 20th, I wrote 727 book words. On the 21st, 0. On the 22nd, 2730 book words for my biggest day of the month. And on the 23rd, 2231. Followed that fabulousness up with 2 0-word days on the 24th and 25th. Then on the 26th, 2327. On the 27th, 1077, on the 28th, 0. On the 29th, 1014, and yesterday on the 30th, 1496. I haven't written any today because it's the start of another blog week and mostly because Halloween. But that brings my manuscript just past 18K, which is super exciting and a little nerve-wracking because that is past the halfway point or right around the halfway point. It's a little unclear to me, even with this strict outlining during the drafting process. I feel like I have been very plot focused, very action driven, and a lot of dialogue, but not a lot of setting the scene, atmosphere. And so I think I'm gonna have to go back through at some point and do a lot more of that. As it stands, though, I may only have 20K or even a little less of this book to write before I get to the end. So what am I doing for Nano? I should have about 20K of blog words in the month of November, and then maybe about 20K finishing this book, which leaves me with trying to figure out how to get 10,000 more words somehow. And this is just a vague estimate because I don't know how much longer the book will take. I feel like going back through a slightly too short manuscript and trying to fill out the atmosphere and stuff would be a little slow for a nano type project and would take me more time than the typical just pushing a draft out. But that's a possibility because I know I tend toward white room syndrome, and I could add a lot more of where they are and what the town is like and the aesthetic of things. I'm gonna have to do that at some point, I'm pretty sure. So maybe that'll help fill out my nano, or maybe I can do outlining words because I have another idea. This one is YA that I would like to use the same outlining method for. So that is my nano plan. I went to the nano site. I announced my project. I figured out what genre and everything, although obviously not all of my words will be novel words. And I even managed to write a little bit about the premise for it. So I'm officially signed up for NaNoWriMo. Hi to Lindsay, who responded to a comment and popped up while I was screen recording. So there it is. It's the 31st. I'm ready. Look how ready I am. NaNoWriMo. And here's the most exciting thing. So I first did Nano April of 2019. I did all 3 events. I've always done all 3 events since then. So this is going to be my 12th Nano event. But in 2019, I didn't go to any in-person events, although there were some. And then it was 2020 and there haven't been any. And there's going to be an in-person Nano write-in at my local library, which is like half a mile from my house, on the 5th. So I'm really excited to go to my first live Nano event ever. Until next time, I am Moon Petrie, and I would love to hear whether you're doing Nano, what you're doing instead of Nano, what you're doing for Nano, and whether you have ever been to a live in-person Nano event or whether you might like to do that this year.